All right, let's take a look at a better way of um, kind of structuring our code. So let's go up to the top here, create a new file. I'm just going to call this enemy stats.java with lowercase j, and I'm going to hit enter. And you get these pop-ups. One says class, one says interface. Let's go ahead and select the interface here. Now, in my game, I have a bunch of different types of enemies. I have robots, I have squid monsters, I have all this good stuff. So there's some common things I'd like them all to have, right? So for example, I think it'd be cool if I could, at the time that they're created, I know what their name is, right? Just for testing purposes, let's say. So I'm going to make a method in here called void print stats, open close parentheses, and a semicolon. Notice I didn't finish the method. I just wrote that out. And the reason for that is any class that's going to be a child of this enemy stats blueprint or interface here, I want it to have this method in here. So let's take a look at how we use this blueprint. So I'm going to go up top and I'm going to say, well, I have robot enemies, so a robot, and I'm just going to write .java. And you can see it gives me that same interface. This is definitely a class, but I wanted to implement any of the code that's going to be shared instead of my enemy stats here. Now you'll notice, hey, it gave me another error, right? If I highlight over this and I go to quick fix, it says, hey, you didn't implement all of those methods that were inside of enemy stats. You better do that. And I'm like, okay, just relax Visual Studio Code. So I click on that. And here we are. We're inside of our print stats here. So I'm just going to delete this and I'm going to do sysout. And inside of here, I'll just write inside of robot class. So I'll save that, and I'm like, you know what, there's also now Squid Monster, so I'll go to Squid Monster here, and I'll go .java, hit enter, and this is also a class, and it also implements the enemy stats interface from here, so let's copy and paste that here, boom, like that, same error, yep, I want to implement that, I'm going to steal this from here, and I'm just going to pop it inside of here. And now I'm going to change it from robot class to squid monster class. So let's save that out. Now when I go back into my hello world here, all I have to do to implement these things is the same as before, right? I have to create. So if I hold Alt and Shift and I push the down arrow, it'll duplicate that. And I just start typing out squid. And you can see it knows that I want that squid monster. And what's kind of cool is if I start to type this out, it auto suggests a name. I kind of like that. Good job, Visual Studio Code. I like that squid monster. So I'm going to copy and paste this. Now this junk in here needs to go away because we didn't create a constructor with all of our attributes inside of here. And we're going to get into how you can make each class also automatically inherit things that are common like name and stuff. We'll do that in the next video. So I'm going to hold Alt and Shift and duplicate this. And inside of our squid monster here, we also created a robot. So I'll start to type robot, and you'll say, hey, there's that. And I'll type robot, and it knows that I want some sort of keyword, and I like the keyword it gave me. Thank you. And it knows I want that too. So I'm going to save that out. Now, we get these yellow lines because it doesn't exactly know what the heck. It's like, well, why'd you make this and you're not using it? That's what the yellow lines are. So I'm going to say, okay, relax for a second, Visual Studio Code. I want to use Squid Monster, and I want to call that print stats. And I want to use robot, and I want to call print stats. And I love you, Visual Studio's IntelliSense, because you did all that for me, and you can save me years on my fingers. And so I'm going to hit Control S and Control F5. And now when I run this, you can see, hey, we're inside of our Squid Monster class, this, and we got all this juicy stuff for our orc, which is actually our player, so I'm not going to have it inherit from this. So I think what we'll do in the next video is we'll take a look at allowing the player to pick which monster, and we'll build out a little bit more detailed class as we move towards something called a design patterns, which is a factory pattern. Thanks for watching this.